Hello and welcome to the Ward 6 Council Show. I'm Meg Salyer, and today I'm joined by a very good friend of us all. I know our viewers know Georgie, I think by name, Georgie Rasco, who's the Executive Director of the Neighborhood Alliance.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We're delighted to have you, and with her is Bruce Hall. I'm going to do this right away. Bruce was the Neighbor of the Year at this year's Good Neighbor Banquet. Bruce lives in the Miller Neighborhood and has done some amazing things both for his neighborhood and for our city that we're going to talk about today. So, Bruce, congratulations.
Thank you.
So very much for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Georgie, tell us a little bit about Miller. It's one of the many neighborhoods that you look after.
We do have over 400 organized neighborhood associations in the Oklahoma City area, and Miller, I'm sorry to say, but it has to be one of my favorites. Not only because of Bruce, who just makes anywhere he lives a fun place to live because he's so committed to his neighbors. They do a lot of things in Miller. They've absolutely taken those old historic homes over there and made it into a very sought after place for people to live. Whereas 25 years ago, people didn't really want to live there. It was full of graffiti and crime, and it's exactly the opposite today. It's a fabulous neighborhood.
I totally agree with you, but before we go too far, Bruce, why don't you share with us what the boundaries are so when people come looking for Miller, they know where to come.
Sure. Our little piece of paradise is from Northwest 10th Northwest 16th, Villa to the east, and May Avenue to the west. We have about 600 homes. It's a great area, convenient to everything downtown, I-40, all the highways around. You can get anywhere you want to go in a short period of time.
And it's one of those gorgeous old neighborhoods that has medians in the middle of the street.
12th Street and Miller Boulevard are median boulevards. We take care of those pretty well, and we have a beautiful gazebo and a clock and flower beds. We have a lot of people walk up and down Miller. It's a beautiful place to live. I love it.
And it allows people to be engaged, which is one of the fun things. I try every year to come to National Night Out, which is obviously a national program, but one that you support.
Right, where we encourage all neighborhoods to do something social in order to prove that they're connected and they're going to report crime when they see it. And it's very effective, and Miller has wonderful outings all year long, not only their Neighbors Night Out, but they have a fabulous home tour as well. That's Miller in May that I'm sure Bruce can tell us more about, but it's a must-have. It's a little dangerous. I went a few years ago and it cost me $30,000 because I had to go home and remodel my house.
I was going to say, I wondered if you bought something in Miller.
But it's a wonderful, wonderful way to spend a beautiful May Saturday.
You know what, I was there this May as well, and I came home with fabulous ideas. Bruce, you've done a great job personally fixing up some of the properties down there. And how did you get started in this adventure?
You know, I think it's always been in the back of my mind. I've always kind of wanted to do that. There was an apartment complex, 2 fourplexes at the intersection of Northwest 12th and Villa, and always thought that those could be really great if somebody would take the time and put some money into them. And well, a few years later,
you were the person that took the time and put some money into them.
We put a lot of money in them, and they're very nice. In fact, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath available. But Georgie was talking about our home tour. I'd like to mention we have our Miller Mantle and Tree tour, which is our Christmas tour coming up December 7th.
Perfect.
And what that is 5 or 6 of our neighbors open up their homes, basically their living rooms, to show all of our fireplace mantles are different from mostly Francoma tile in the fireplaces, and see how they've decorated their mantles and their Christmas trees. And they kind of go from a lot of extremes. Some will be over the top, some will be minimalist type people with a stick in a jar with a bulb on it, and it looks
very
great.
artistically done.
It looks great. It looks great, and that's what's great about Miller. We have a very diverse neighborhood, just a lot of fun people. It's just a pleasant place to live, I think.
Well, I totally agree with you. Remind us again the date of the
December 7th,
and,
Friday night.
So it's in the evening because it's after
6 to 9.
Perfect.
Last year, it started out, this is only our 4th year to do this, it started out just as a neighborhood thing, and people said, well, let's do for a fundraiser for, we need, as so many neighborhoods need more lighting for our neighborhood, so that's where the money goes. Great. And last year we had over 100 people for, a couple hours of being open, so that was
I was one of them.
Yeah,
it was really a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Great. And can they buy tickets at the different homes? So as you come and great. Fantastic. Georgie, how does a neighborhood, I mean, what we've seen happen in Miller and, you know, everything just from the sheer camaraderie of it and the social events to, as you say, a complete 180-degree turnaround in a neighborhood that one wouldn't have wanted to live in before, that one is incredibly desired. How do neighbors get started in this kind of a project? And
you know, if you have that question at all and you want some help, absolutely call us at Neighborhood Alliance. We have a workshop the first Tuesday of every month on how to organize your neighborhood association. You don't have to know anything other than, I want life to be better for me and my neighbors, and I'd like for my property values to increase. If you want those things, we can certainly help you try to get there. But it's not an overnight success. It doesn't mean you're going to get people together in a room and voila, the next day things have happened. It takes a lot of effort, as Miller can tell you. They had to work hard to get where they're at today, but it absolutely pays off in the long run. All of us deserve to live someplace where we have somebody on our block that can pick up our mail if need to, or give us a ride to work if our car won't start. But we have to work at making that happen these days. It just doesn't happen on its own.
so how long, Bruce, have you been at this in Miller?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I'd like to piggyback on what Georgie said. It takes a village. It really takes a village. We have people that are very active and want to be in everything. We have people that are, a lot of people behind the scenes. We have people that pick up the newsletters. We have people that deliver on their blocks. We have people to set up at events. We have, you know, we have the home tour we're talking about. We have the Miller in May, our big home tour, which is very nice. We have a 4th of July parade. We have a citywide garage sale, or a neighborhood-wide garage sale. So we have something just about every month.
Yep.
And we have a lot of people. Some don't want to get involved, and well, that's fine. You know, I tell people to find your niche. We have lots of opportunities, and it takes a lot of people. And we're fortunate to have a really good core group of people to depend on. So it takes a lot of work.
Great, but you know, to say that it's been a 15-year effort, I mean, I think I'm known for being fairly impatient, but these things just don't happen automatically, and sometimes it takes training at the beginning to learn how to do things as simple as running meetings and preparing minutes and having to-do lists and interfacing with the city. One of the things that I think Bruce does incredibly well is, you know, knows how to engage us and work with the city.
And there's lots of resources out there to help you. It's not just Neighborhood Alliance. We're kind of the umbrella group that we're going to help you find, but there are lots of organizations out there that have volunteers that are willing to come to your neighborhood and help you or some of the seniors in your neighborhood to fix up their homes. There are home rehab programs that you can let your neighbors know about. There are lots and lots of programs that the city has, and lots of wonderful employees at the city willing to help you make your neighborhood what you want it to be.
Right, so these fall into the category of the thing I love best, which are public-private partnerships.
Right.
Because the city certainly can't do it all, but we do have some resources, and we have access to lots of services and connections to help you. So it's to me, these things are always just win-win for everybody.
Yeah. And Oklahoma City is not just about Bricktown. It's not about our beautiful downtown area. It's about our neighborhoods and where we live. And Miller and Bruce is a shining example of how you can take that, an area, and make it your own and make it a place sought after. Homes don't stay on the market but for days in Miller, because real estate agents know that they're going to be able to sell those homes quickly because people want to live there. And all neighborhoods have that opportunity.
Yeah. Georgie, one of the other things I think is so important, and we're really beginning to see now, is the connectivity between neighborhoods. And I know you guys relate to, and you've worked with the Plaza District some. We've got all the wonderful neighborhoods that stack up with Gatewood and Crestwood and Las Vegas,
The
Georgie,
Trolley
where I
Track
think you
Coalition.
live, that Trolley Track Coalition. I had a great email from Carolyn Dersham today.
She's wonderful.
She is fabulous.
Yeah.
And
she's very dedicated and does a great job.
connecting with OU School of Architecture, and going to begin to try to design some bike trails and walking trails and amenities that will, you know, I think
We want to call it the Trolley Track Trails. How
Okay,
cool is that?
That's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. And you travel a lot. I know Carolyn's traveled quite a bit and taken photographs and interested in bringing some sort of best practices or good ideas from other parts of the country to us. We think about that strip along May Avenue that, as was 23rd Street and some other areas, once bustling retail corridors. And, the opportunity to
bustling again,
bring those
lots
back.
of families there.
Well, it is. And, again, 23rd Street. I mean, there seems like there's
Right.
a new announcement every day about a new business coming in or
It's exciting.
something going on.
It's exciting.
And I think what people forget is that they don't realize that it's people just like us
Right.
that are making those decisions. It's not necessarily planners and city council members, even though they're very important in the process. The original idea very often came from just a group of neighbors sitting around their kitchen table. And then they were able to through tenacity and calling around and finding out, how do I do this? Just like Carolyn contacting you today. That's how some of these fabulous ideas in Oklahoma City got started and that we're enjoying today.
It's really where I think all the fabulous ideas in Oklahoma City got started. A few people. It's that wonderful quote, "Never doubt that one person can change." It's, in fact, or a small group of people
Right.
can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever does. And
Right.
It is so true. And in the concept of neighborhood revitalization and growing strong neighborhoods and connecting with commercial districts, it's the way of the future, I think, for the city, which is funny because it's sort of the way back. We had these vibrant, thriving neighborhoods in the inner city, and over the years, for lots of reasons, some of that dissipated. And I think the tremendously exciting thing for me, it's my just my joy to see, but it's also incredibly important to what's going on in Ward 6. So
Yes.
thank you, Bruce, for
Sure,
coming. I'm
thank you.
going to hold this up again. Good Neighbor of the Year. Really proud of you. And
Thank you.
Georgie,
Too.
the work that you do every day in helping our neighborhoods connect with services and things is making a huge difference.
Well,
So
thank you. We enjoy it.
thank you kindly.